to play a game.
How's it going, guys? Super Jim here. Welcome back to my co-op guide for the new Call of Duty Ghosts Extinction mode. Now, we're heading through into the final area towards the cabin here, and as soon as you head through here, up the path, you will face a Rhino straight away. There is also a second Rhino you'll face as you come to the buildings up the road. Now, you can choose to ignore these guys if you wish, and if you ignore them, they will just wander off. So that's probably the best way to do it. But then again, you do get a ton of points for killing them as well, so it's up to you what you decide to do there. If you want to be safe, probably just ignore them and let them wander off. And we're going to head on up here. Now, when you move into one of these three main areas for the first time, you do get a break, and there is the second Rhino up ahead here. You do get a break from the aliens spawning in, so this is your opportunity to look around and search for your attachments or your pieces of equipment like flares or trophy systems and stuff like that from the trash piles and those little cache boxes or whatever they are that you can search as well throughout the map. We're working on taking down the second Rhino there. Now, as I said before, we are using the explosive ammo exclusively throughout this playthrough. In my opinion, it is better than the armor piercing, but the armor piercing is probably going to take down the Rhino that little bit quicker. Okay, so gonna rank up the specialist once more here. Now, the challenge in this particular Hive is to spend $10,000 before the Hive is destroyed. With 4 players, that should be pretty easy here. Obviously, these challenges change, although each time they are pretty much random. And you can see the work that these upgraded Sentry guns are doing for us. They are really useful in getting through this Extinction mode successfully. So 2 of the guys on the team do have those Sentry guns, those automated Sentry guns ranked up. You can see we've got a couple up top there and a couple down below as well. So we're actually pretty comfortable here for the first of the Hives in this location. And I'm going to hit the fire trap here. Once again though, that probably should have been the job of the engineer in the team to be hitting those traps, but I mean, we probably didn't need it too much with all the sentries set up here, but one of the guys went down up there. Sounds like we might have another Rhino up there maybe, or it could have been a Scorpion that spit and took his health down there, but anyway, he got back up again. So you can see how easy it was for us to spend 10,000 points to get that challenge, and I upgrade the Vulture to the next level. So I think I only ranked up the Vulture to level 2 or level 3 in this gameplay. It is pretty awesome if you can get enough skill points to get it up to the top level, but I was more concentrating on ranking up my pistols all the way and my weapons specialist all the way. And there's another Rhino down there. Took him out. Bit of teabag on the old Rhino. Why not? And we're ready to head on to the next Hive now. So yeah, I did rank up my Vulture to level 3 there. That is going to come in handy when we get to the final location that we have to drill through, which is probably the hardest in the map. But we've got a couple more Hives to do before we get to that stage. Okay, so we got a couple of Vultures spitting at us here. And you just want to protect those automated sentries as much as you can, obviously, because the aliens will target them and try and take them down, but if you can prevent them from doing them damage, they'll actually last almost indefinitely, so they have that advantage over the Vulture. The Vulture only lasts a certain period of time, even though it has the advantage of flying around and following you around the map and not being able to be attacked by the aliens directly. So we're camping up on this area here, and this is actually a pretty good spot because they can't come from behind you, they can't come from the side, they can't come from above. they can only come from in front and to the right. So this is actually a really good camping spot for this particular hive that we're drilling. And we've got to kill 10 aliens with traps for this challenge, and I don't think any of us at this stage was really even looking at the challenge. We were just trying to stay alive as much as we could. But there is an electric trap down there where I'm shooting right now, and there's also that fire trap that I hit earlier to the right that we could have used. There's actually another electrical trap as well down near the next building, further on down the hill. But the electrical traps don't seem that effective against the aliens. And it's actually pretty easy to zap yourself because they're just basically cables that lay across the ground or fences, and you can walk across them without seeing them too easily. Whereas the fire trap, at least you know exactly where it is and you can avoid it pretty easily. Just picking up some more ammo here. So you can see throughout this game, the key to this and to success is for your team to be dropping ammo, upgraded ammo, and upgraded shields constantly throughout the game. As soon as they hit 5,500 or 5,000 even, you should be popping out that ammo if you're the designated ammo person, or the armor if you're the armor person, just so everyone can grab that and have a comfortable amount of ammo at all times and armor at all times. And that's what this squad did really effectively in this game. That helped us get through it pretty comfortably for 90% of this game. Okay, so this is the next hive that we're trying to drill through here in this top floor of the cabin here. Now, towards the end of this particular hive, when you get to almost to finishing off with the drill, you will get a rhino spawning in. So just be ready for that and get set up, ready and anticipating that rhino to spawn in, because he can cause some problems if you're not ready for him. So you want to have, your turrets fresh and set up there for when that happens. The turrets are really good for the Rhino because they do have armor-piercing capabilities once you rank them up to the higher levels. And obviously the Rhino has that really thick armor that you want to get through. Now, just a few tips in taking out the Rhino, by the way. You have to shoot basically with all of these aliens. You will do much more damage if you shoot them on the glowing parts of their body. Those are the parts that are exposed and where you'll get the critical hits in. And with the Rhino, his mouth is the vulnerable spot, and his feet, but more that glowing mouth. So it's a fairly small target area, but that's the area you want to aim for if you want to take him down the quickest possible way. Just try and take out that scorpion in the distance there. Now, trophy systems also are pretty awesome. If you can put a trophy system down where you're camping with your team, that will basically make you pretty much protected completely from the spit of the scorpions, because that stuff is really deadly, as I've said before, and can cause some real problems for your team, both in downing people, causing you to take damage while you're reviving them in it, and causing you to take damage if they drop supplies in it. Okay, so we're nearly finished on this hive now. And then we'll have, I think it's 2 more hives before we can plant the nuke. So this is where the Rhino spawns in, right here, just as you're about to finish this this hive off. And you just want to be careful and be aware of him. So I called in another vulture to help me out with some of these smaller aliens. And a couple of guys went down up top here, so heading up here to help out. Before you try and revive, always grab some fresh armor, because armor will basically prevent you taking any health damage at all. until it is gone. So even if you're on a tiny little bit of health, if you whack some armor on, you'll be completely safe until that armor is gone. And that's why it's super important to have the highest rank level of armor supplied for your team. Okay, so we get a little bit of a break here now. While I've got canister bombs, so I'm just leaving those Semtex grenades while we set up for this penultimate hive that we have to drill. So because I've got, I had the maximum amount of money, I just chucked out some armor for people to top up with, or to save for later, if they already have full armor. But you really should be spending that once you get to 6,000. There's nothing more annoying for me. Well, there's there's a few things more annoying, but it is pretty irritating when people on the team just sit on their maximum $6,000 wallet and don't spend it, because they're not helping their team out by just, you know, spending that and then letting it top back up again each time on stuff that the team can use. So if I ever see the team sitting on $6,000 and not spending it, I'll always call out and say, hey, chuck out some armor or chuck out some ammo or whatever. Because even if you don't need armor straight away, there's a chance that you could need to resupply, you know, in a minute or two. So chuck a canister bomb down there to take out those seekers that are spawning in from the meteorite. I don't find the Semtex or the canister bombs terribly useful, to be honest. Occasionally, if the drill's getting attacked directly, you can chuck one, but the bouncing betties are pretty handy, and the claymores, but they're not essential. And you can see the benefit here of the holographic sight for seeing those scorpions from a distance. If you're not running feral instincts, which I don't think we really ran that too much in this game, then that holographic sight can help you spot the aliens that are hiding behind trees and stuff like that in the distance. So personally, it is my favorite sight, this hybrid sight. I very rarely use the thermal sight on it, but occasionally when you do need it, it's pretty handy. Yeah, it's getting pretty hectic back here now with these guys attacking the sentry guns. If you're setting up the sentry guns, by the way, I would recommend not to set them up side by side, which is what most people seem to do, but try and set them up facing each other a little bit of a distance apart, and that way the sentry guns can actually protect each other. And this electric trap was on, and you just have to be careful, because running across here there's a few cables where the electricity goes as part of that trap, and you can zap yourself pretty bad and destroy your own armor if you're not aware of where these cables are, and they can be quite hard to see as well. Now this is the final drill, guys, before we plant the nuke, and a couple of things to remember in this location is the scorpions tend to sit up on the hill behind where the hive is, and I nearly jump off the cliff there, which would have been pretty disastrous for me, but just remember they could be up behind you there, so you want to be looking up there, and that's where they sit, and they spit down on your acid where you're trying to camp, and that can cause you problems if you don't have a trophy system. So yeah, sitting here with I think it's 3 or 4 turrets set up, and the vulture flying around, 4 players with pretty good guns at this stage, full health, full armor. We're sitting pretty here at the moment, but this is going to get pretty insane and pretty hectic shortly. This drill takes a long time to actually get rid of this hive, this final hive. And this last hive is not a barrier hive, so you can't actually shoot at it to make it go any quicker either. So you just have to survive basically at this point, and this is a point where you can get to and then end up dying if you're not careful. So yeah, just talking about the cliff that I nearly jumped off before. If you do fall off the cliff, and it's particularly easy at the last Hive location we were at before this one, if you do fall off that in co-op, there will be like a little tombstone tag that the other players can revive to bring you back, and you still keep your weapons and that. So it's actually not too bad, but it's kind of annoying when it does happen. So yeah, I pretty much used the Vector the entire way through this game, and the starting pistol, and that's the only guns I use in this entire game. But you do have a capability to get, as I said before, more than one primary weapon if you need to, but I prefer to have the quick switching ability between the pistols and my main gun, the Vector. And the thing with the Vector is, even though it's an SMG, what it gives you is really fast reloads. So it has pretty much the same amount of ammo as even an LMG and stuff like that, but because it's got a quicker reload and a really rapid fire on it, especially with the rapid fire attachment obviously, then you do get more damage per second going with this thing. And I chucked down a couple of claymores here because we get a Rhino obviously. But with all the turrets and everything, that Rhino does not last very long at all. He goes down super fast. Yeah, so just watch up where that tree is there on the bank above this hive, because that's where, as I said before, all the scorpions sit up there and just spit down. There can be 3 or 4 up there. And sometimes it's easy to forget where they are because they're behind you if you're camping in this location, which is where most people do tend to camp, right next to the drill. The traps in this location are not very effective. It'd be good if there was a fire trap here somewhere, but that electric trap is actually more of a pain than a benefit, if you know what I mean. Okay, we're getting close now. The drill is damaged though. It's only on 65 health, so I'm going to have to repair that just to be on the safe side, because even though we are what looks like about 80% of the way through this hive now, that's still quite a long way off getting drilled, so we just want to make sure we repair that. And I'm going to chuck down some armor there. So I did rank up my own armor to about level 3 or 4 I believe, just so that I did have the opportunity to grab some armor quickly if the other guys didn't drop that down in time for me. And armor is really important to have that, because if you're running you know, for the extraction zone and your health goes down, you can just chuck out some armor and instantly you are good to go again, and it gives your health a chance to regen. So especially for solo as well. Now guys, I will be doing a solo guide because a few people have requested it. So even though I said at the start of this that I probably wouldn't be doing one unless you really wanted me to, I will do a solo guide as well as this one to help you guys out. And there we go. We got the last hive completed, so that's hive 14 done. Now we're going to plant the nuke, but make sure everyone's ready at this point. You know, spend your remaining couple of thousand that you've got on armor or whatever it is, or you know, ammo. Feral instincts, if someone's running that, is going to be useful at this point as well to give you extra speed. And when everyone's ready to go, everyone needs to be running as fast as they can to get back to the extraction zone, which is back where we spawned in. And if you can do this with, I think it's a minute and a half left on the clock, because there's a countdown timer of, I think it's 5 minutes, we'll see in a moment here. But if you get back with a minute and a half or more remaining on the clock, you actually get an achievement as well. You also get an achievement, it's 4 minutes, sorry, not 5 minutes, 4 minutes on the clock here. But you also get achievement if all 4 players make it out alive. But I don't know if you noticed, but about 2 or 3 minutes ago, one of our 4-player squad actually timed out. So he must have been spewing, because he was so close to beating this with us, and he timed out, so that sucks for him. But at least it didn't end the game for us, I guess. And once you get to this this spot where it takes you back, basically where you transition between the three main maps, you will have a barrier pop up, which is one of these meteorites, and you will also get a Rhino spawning in here as well, right where the meteorite is. And there'll be a couple more Rhinos that will harass you on the way back through. So once you do take him out, eventually that meteorite will disappear and you'll be able to get through to the city area again. And you just want to keep moving as fast as you can so that you can get those meteorites spawning in and then get past them quicker. So here again, I'm chucking out some armor so that I can make sure I don't get too low on health here. You might even need to deploy armor a couple of times on this run back if you do take a lot of damage, you know, unless you're a tank or something like that. So you want to make sure you've got a decent amount of points at this stage, because you're probably going to need them to deploy armor and stuff like that. Now with that Rhino, by the way, another thing, when you're fighting him, basically if you're a fair distance away, he'll do a charge thing which is really easy to spot that he's going to preparing to do that. And it's very easy to just jump out of the way of that so you don't take any damage. But if he's in close, then it can be difficult to avoid his attack. But we're heading to the extraction zone here. One guy's already there and the other player's right next to me, so we're all going to get extracted here. And I was actually pleasantly surprised when I looked at the stats popping up on the screen here as we get extracted, because I realized I hadn't actually gone down at all in this game. So I had a perfect game really in this particular game you're watching. So that was awesome, and we got a couple of achievements at the end there. So there you go, guys. Please remember to rate and comment on this video if this has helped you, if you've enjoyed this series, and I'll be bringing you guys some more Extinction mode in the near future. But for now, it is Slippery Jim out. Thanks for watching.